Hello everyone, Blake Ryder here, and it is time for a Lighthouse Quick Take. I've been doing a lot of reading about these brutal heat waves that are happening everywhere, especially over in southern Europe, Spain more specifically. And then I was reading an article about a week or so ago that Reuters put out, and it had a very sobering headline. And the article goes on to say that this number of nearly 1,200 people is more than 10 times what it was in 2024. So, listen, my job as a hotel data researcher is to understand the impacts of global phenomena on hotel performance. So I had no choice but to look into how something like this is affecting Spain's tourism industry. So what I dug into was the hotel price evolution for the last month. So looking at how prices evolved for stays starting from June 20th through July 20th. And this is what I saw. So again, this is how prices tracked for stays starting from June 20th through July 20th. And you could see that from about 4 weeks ahead of the stay date onward, prices just absolutely tanked. And they were largely stable for most of the time immediately preceding that point. So hoteliers really had to discount room prices to fill their hotels. So you might ask, is this a common price evolution curve for this time of year in Spain? Well, not really. This is how the lead time pricing curve looked for those same days, albeit in 2024. And to be clear, this is June 21st to July 21st, which are the equivalent days in 2024 when comparing on a day-to-day comparison basis. And here you see a bit of discounting at the end, but hoteliers were largely able to drive price, and the price they ended at was definitely higher than where price was for much of the lead time up to those final stay dates. And if you go back to 2023, again, we see that price again finalized higher than where pricing was for most of the pricing curve, and the shape is super similar to the shape of the 2024 curve. So what we see is that in 2023 and 2024, in both cases, hoteliers were able to achieve final prices considerably higher than where prices were holding for much of the lead time, whereas in 2025, hoteliers were forced to dramatically cut rate. So what does this mean? Well, we've all heard the expression that correlation does not imply causality. And yes, this is absolutely true. Though looking at the data, I do think that there's evidence that the heat, at a minimum, played a non-negligible factor in how hoteliers were forced to revenue manage in the middle of the summer, with reductions to non-essential travel, reductions to last-minute leisure demand, and onward. So for revenue managers, this is a good learning experience to consider their own distribution strategies, their summer cancellation policies, their prepayment policies, and perhaps earlier in the year, offering enticing bundled packages for summer travel to drive and lock in demand and reduce the impact of weather events like this one. As always, we appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with us. My name is Blake Ryder, and this has been Lighthouse Quick Takes.